But when it comes to her, gotta keep it secret.
Hi, I'm Sal Contractor and I'm at Speedfest. I've got my BMW F80 M3 and my 911 Turbo.
My name is Siddharth Desai and I have a 981 GT4 and a 991 Turbo S.
I'm Aditya Prabhu. This is my 997.2 Porsche Turbo S.
Hi, I'm Veda. I drive a BMW M4. I'm coming from Vellore.
Hi, I'm Rakib Ali Ismail. This is my W204 C63 AMG.
Hi, my name is Amrit Chamaria and this is my car 992 Turbo S, the first one in India and the proud owner, and I've got this car at the Speedfest event.
I'm Sachit. I've got the BMW M2 competition.
Hi, I'm Mohit Mehta. I'm here with my C63S.
What have you been looking forward to the entire year? The vaccine, probably. But I know what these guys in these pits have been also looking forward to. That is an opportunity to drive their cars hard. Where with this Speedfest, a club of supercar enthusiasts that have an annual ritual of coming to the track at least once. These cars here, they're not garage queens. They really get driven. They got plenty of stuff on them to get them ready for the track. You'll find all sorts of cars here. So you'll get naturally aspirated cars, turbocharged cars, front engine cars, mid engine, rear engine, you name it. And there's a track car here in these pits for you. We're joining them though with a car of our own. Right in that garage is the Mercedes AMG GTR. Now, I know you're thinking, we're a magazine that's focused on the thrill of driving, so why are we so late to reviewing this car? That's because we were waiting for the opportune moment to give you this review. There's no point driving a car like this on the road. What will he tell you? The ride quality is stiff? We need to drive this car on the track and at the limit. Sirish is here today and he thinks he's going to be just driving the car, but we're going to stick a GoPro in the car and have him give you his impressions of the GTR on the track. We're also going to have him talk about why track days are such a big deal. Welcome to Speedfest and welcome to India's first track review of the Mercedes AMG GTR.
Where can you test the GTR apart from a racetrack? On the road, it's ridiculous. What are we going to say? That the GTR is very stiff? Obviously, it'll be stiff. This is a track-focused car. On the road, you'll buy the GTC. A nice convertible, drop the top when the mood strikes you. Out here, you want something that's agile, responsive, brutal, that really goes hard, and also keeps you on your toes. So the AMG GTR's lap time around the BIC is 2 minutes 9 seconds something. We did a 2 minute 12.1. 3 seconds off the lap record time, which is not bad for a media test drive car, which a lot of people have already driven around. It is super quick, like really fast. But you gotta be a little careful, give it a lot of respect, because around the corners, it's on the limit of adhesion. And when you step on the gas, the tail comes out. It's running Michelin Cup 2 tires, which are sticky tires. But this is a twin turbocharged engine. There's a mountain of torque. What's really super impressive on the GTR is the turn-in, that initial turn-in, because it also has rear-wheel steer. It is so quick. It's unbelievable, really, just how quickly the nose turns in. That agility is fantastic. And that makes it so chuckable, so nimble in corners. It really is astonishingly good. But ultimately, this is still a rear-wheel drive car. And that means down the slower corners, the tail comes out. So you have to apply the throttle in very progressively. But that little bit of slide that you can get is just so much fun. You can adjust the attitude of the car, the balance on the throttle. And it sounds incredible in here. On the outside, this is among the quietest cars out here at Speedfest. But on the inside, it's loud. Even through the helmet, it's loud. They call this the beast of the green hell, and not without reason. This is a beast of a car. And it's a wild animal. Sounds wild, and it goes like stink.
The AMG GTR provided plenty of thrills, but there were more to be had. The Speedfest, it has grown over the years and it has become one of the country's premier track day events. Here's the story of how it came to be.
It's actually been a journey for us, and initially we started with a small group of maybe 5 to 7 individuals. We really didn't care what cars came, what didn't come, so we've not kept any criteria for Speedfest about which car you have. The idea is you're safe on the track, you're fast, you want to improve yourself, and it's just so happened that everyone who had a performance car didn't have a place to actually go and safely drive their cars and test themselves and their cars. So Speedfest happened as a way of that, and that's why you're seeing possibly some of the most sought after cars today at Speedfest here, and drivers pushing themselves beyond what they imagined or what we thought they could ever do.
And how long does it take to prep for such an event?
So prep actually begins 3 to 6 months prior to any event. Okay, so all the way from getting your tires, changing brake fluid, engine oil, knowing what kind of viscosity to run, coolant to run, whether you run certain additives or not, getting your tune ready for the track based on the fuel that you have. So testing, training, integrity test on your cars begin 3 to 4 months prior to Speedfest. Of course, you do have incidents on the track in where people have to work on their cars there. But so far we've seen, as far as temperatures go at BIC, they've been extremely good. Track is great. So, we've had very, very few incidents where things haven't worked out.
Now let's talk to some of the owners about their cars. Siddharth Desai set the fastest time of the weekend in his Turbo S. But he also had his Cayman GT4 along.
981 GT4 is like driving on rails. Yeah, there is a lot of driver involvement, but the car is phenomenal. I mean, the kind of mechanical grip that this car has and the way that you can take corners, even on throttle, is not something which is so easily possible in other, even much faster, much more mechanically designed cars. I just can't express the emotions. You feel really connected to the road, to the track. With your car, you're changing gears through every corner. It's a really otherworldly experience. The Turbo S is really, much faster than the GT4. Maybe at the best that I have done, it's 7 seconds off on a 5.2 kilometer track. So that's quite a lot of fast.
With a time of 2 minutes and 2.804 seconds, Siddharth managed some great times. How did he learn to drive like this?
I'm not a race car driver. I'm an amateur driver with very little experience as far as competitive racing is concerned. So a lot of Google knowledge, good or bad, it is what it is.
But this wasn't the only turbo on the track. Aditya Prabhu had his 997 Turbo S there as well.
We're currently at the Speedfest, and this is the most exciting time of the year for us, and we're very, very excited to be here because it's the only time that we really get to test the limits of our own cars at our own pace, at our own limits, at our own skills. Turbo has always been a cult within the Porsche, specifically the Turbo S. So this particular car is slightly more unique because this is one of two in India. And the advantage that I see of this car on the track is I like to build and put some essence of our own customization for the car. So while I agree that the GTs are track driven, these cars can be made to be track focused, but you'll always be left out on the suspension, the handling and all of that. But at the end of the day, it still does justice to the fact that the car runs extremely well on the track.
The country's first 992 Turbo S was here too, and Amrit sums up why the Turbo is so popular pretty well.
Me, my wife and my daughter, all three of us can fit in this car. I can take this car to office, I can take this car out for dinners, coffee shops, and I can take this car on track as well. So it's an all-rounder performance. This car is like a machine, 24 hours. Like yesterday, in one session, non-stop, this car I did like 400 kilometers. And there was no issue at all. The challenge which I faced was, the brakes were so powerful, even at like high speeds. When I was braking hard also, I was stopping way before. So I had to again pedal full axi, and the car was going zoom, zoom, zoom. Like the full track, it was like zoom, 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 yeah.
The guys at the Speedfest enjoy tuning their cars up for the track. Here's Sachit giving you the lowdown on his M2 competition build.
Right now what we are running is a downpipe, a mid-pipe, and the exhaust catback is completely bone stock. The turbos have been upgraded by this company called Mosselman. The tune again is by them, Mosselman, and I'm running K&N drop-in air filters. So roughly on the crank we are pushing about 600 horsepower with about 850 to 900 Newton meters of torque on regular 99 fuel, no additives whatsoever. We got to set the record for the fastest BMW in India at the BIC. So I couldn't have asked for anything better.
And while turbo cars are easier to bump up power in, that hasn't stopped the guys from souping up their naturally aspirated cars either.
So I've done a few things. Visually not much. It has a CF bonnet, but otherwise I have full forged BBS rims. I have bigger brakes. The rear brakes are from the Black Series, the C63 Black Series, the rear calipers. It has the 440 kit basically, that is the Black Series intercooler upgrade, and it has strut bars, coilovers, Bilstein PSS 10. It's much lower. It has IBUX sway bars, so it has aftermarket sway bars, full exhaust system, long tube headers. Personally, I like the NA cars more than the turbo cars.
But it's not all glitz and glamour. Some cars, like this track spec M4, are even built in sheds.
Unlike the Bombay boys, who are lucky enough to have sophisticated showrooms and workshops to get the built on, this car was built under a shed where there is no roof. Because the place where I live, to reach to a good workshop, I'll have to travel at least 100 kilometers. They're local mechanic. I just buy them stuffs from the internet and I'll just sit with them and they build it, and they have no clue on what they are doing. I just tell them what to do and they do it. This is how the whole car is built. The track day was organized picture perfect. There are no hiccups as in the process, the whole process. Everything was so perfect.
Contrast that with the likes of the Porsche GT3 RS, purpose-built track cars that were present at the Speedfest.
It's my first time on the track and I'm fortunate enough to drive one of my good friends' GT3 RSs. I've been told I did a good time of 2:10 and it's been a great experience. We've been pushing all the cars and ourselves and learning a lot. It's a track-built machine, so we are glad to have actually got it out and use it on a track. It's ruthless and it does not forgive when you make mistakes.
And I'm sure you've all been wondering what you need to do to join these guys at their next event.
So to become part of the Speedfest track days, simply write to us on our Insta handles and we'll come back to you within 24 hours typically, host you in for the next session that is there. We typically limit it to not more than 20-22 participants, and that's the way we want to keep it because safety is paramount. Everyone needs to have enough time on the track and over the 2-day session, and hence just write to us and we'll make sure that you guys get there.
Subscribe to the Evo India channel and hit the bell icon to keep pace with the thrill of driving.